made the top with 100% cotton yarn, and I used just a little over 4 of these skeins, which are 50 grams each. Then I used my 3.0mm crochet hook and then some stitch markers as well. The first panel that we'll be making is the bust panel, which also works as the sleeves of the top. So we'll make a chain that is the length of where you want the sleeve to end on one side, and then all the way over your bust, and then to where you want the sleeve to end on the other side. So we'll start off by making a chain, and you have to make an uneven amount and then plus 4 chains. So I'll start off by making a loop. I will be making 133 chains and then plus 4 chains, which will be 137 chains in total. Just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we will begin the first row. So the entire pattern is basically just a double crochet and a chain. But to start off this row, we will have to make a double crochet into the 7th chain from the hook. So this is the first, second, third, 7 right there. And that is because this is a chain space. These 3 counts as the first double crochet. This is the first stitch that the double crochet is placed in, and this is the chain space. So that's why we'll make the double crochet in the 7th chain. So we'll just place a double crochet right there. And now we will just do a chain space and then a double crochet all the way down the chain. So we'll do a chain space, skip a stitch, place a double crochet in the next chain, do a chain, skip a stitch, and then place a double crochet in the next one. And this is just what we're gonna do all the way down to the end of the row. I'm at the end of my first row now, so I'll just show you how to finish off the first row. So I just placed a double crochet, and then I'll do a chain, and then I'll double crochet into the very last stitch. And that was the first row. And I'll just show you the length of the first row. This is kind of how it fits me. So this is the length of the sleeves, like that. Now we're actually just gonna continue doing this until we have the length that we want for the first panel, and it should fit from your shoulders down to under your bust. So that's the length you want for this first panel. If I remember correctly, I will be doing 28 rows in total. I'll just show you how to start off the second row. So we will be turning our work, and then we'll be doing 4 chains, which counts as the first double crochet in the first chain space. And then we will be placing a double crochet into the double crochet like this. Then we'll do a chain, we'll leave the chain space, and then place a double crochet in the double crochet. So this is just what we're gonna continue doing all the way. Just do chain space, and then leave this chain space, and then place a double crochet into the double crochet. I just finished my last row of the bust panel, and I did end up making 28 rows in total. And now I'll just finish off this row completely and show you how to do the body panel. So I'll just finish off the row. I'll cut off the yarn. This is what it looks like now after 28 rows. So it fits a little under my bust, but that's because I want this to be a little bit baggy. So it's a little longer than right under my bust. Yeah. Okay, now we'll start the body panel. What you'll have to do now is you'll have to measure your body just from one side of your body to the other side of your body. You can do that again just by measuring with a measuring tape. You can also just take this panel and place it over your body and see how long that'll be. So my body is 65 stitches in total. The body panel is attached to this bust panel, so you will have to leave some space on the sides for the sleeves, and then you will be placing the body panel in the middle. Now my body panel should be 65 stitches in total, which means that if I had 133 stitches in total and my body panel should be 65 stitches, then I will have 68 stitches left, and I will divide that in two because it will have to be divided for each sleeve. So that's 34 stitches in total for each sleeve. But I'll just show you how I attach the yarn and start off the row. So I'll just make a loop as I normally would. Okay, so my sleeve is 34 stitches long, so I will have to place my hook in the 35th stitch, which is this one. To attach my yarn, I will do a loop as I did before, and then I'll just put that on my hook, tighten it just a little bit. I will pull through and then just tighten the yarn. Now it's attached to the bust panel. Now I'll start off the body panel the way I would with the bust panel as well. So I'll just chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'll do just the exact same stitch as I did for the bust panel. So I'll just place a double crochet in the double crochet and leave a chain space. I'll just continue doing this until I'm at the end of my body panel, which was 65 stitches in total. I am now at the last stitch of my body panel. So I'll just show you how I do that. I do a chain, and then I'll just place my last double crochet as I usually would. And then we'll just continue with this pattern, the exact same pattern as before. So we'll turn our work, then we'll chain 4, place a double crochet and a double crochet, chain, leave a chain space, place a double crochet, and we will be doing this all the way over to the last stitch of our body panel, and then we'll just continue making rows until we have the length that we want for the top. I'll also just show you the body panel. So the bust panel fits like this, and then you start the body panel kind of where your side of the body is, and then to the other side of your body. So that's the measurement for the body part. I ended up making 15 rows for the body panel, And now to finish off this panel, we'll do a border, which is just 2 rows of only double crochets. So we'll turn our work and chain 2. This does not count as our first double crochet. You could also chain 3 and count it as your first double crochet. I just like the look of the chain not being the first double crochet in this. So I'll just chain 2 and then place my first double crochet in the very first stitch. And I'll place a double crochet in the chain space, a double crochet in the next stitch, double crochet in the chain space, and I'll just continue doing this, and I'll make 2 rows in total of just double crochets. I just finished my border of 2 rows of double crochets, which means that I'm finished with this panel, and now I have to make another one identical to this one. So I will do that, and then I'll come back when I'm finished with the second one to show you how to attach the panels. I just finished my second panel and I've laid it on top of the first one, and now I'll show you how to attach the 2 panels. What I'll do is just slip stitch right under the sleeve and also on top of the sleeves, but I won't slip stitch all the way over because I'll leave a hole for the neck. And it depends on how wide a neck you want to be for how many slip stitches you're gonna make, but I'll just do the same amount as I will underneath the sleeve. So I know that there's 35 stitches down here, so I will also slip stitch 35 stitches up here as well, and I'll do that also on the other side, of course. So the first thing I'm gonna do is attach my yarn. So I'll just place my hook in this very first stitch, and also the same stitch on the other panel, so this one. And I'll take the yarn, pull through that, and then just tighten it. And now I'll just place a slip stitch in each stitch. So first this chain space and the chain space on the other side. Then the double crochet. Then I'll just finish off the row as I usually would and just cut off the yarn. And now I'll just repeat the exact same process on the other side. I'll also just show you how I attach the panels on top of the sleeves and leave a hole for the neckline, but it's basically the same process as what we just did. But what I'll do is I'll attach a stitch marker where I want the neck to be, just so I don't forget to leave a hole for the neck. And as I said before, I want to do the same amount of slip stitches as I did underneath the sleeve. So that's 35 slip stitches. So I'll just attach a stitch marker at the 35th stitch. And then I'll do the same thing on the other side as well. So this will be the neckline, and then we'll just do slip stitches here and there. So I'll just attach my yarn where I put my stitch marker. And then I'll just slip stitch in every stitch, just like I did before as well. I just finished slip stitching the shoulders or the sleeves together, and now I'll just turn my work the right side out. Now all there's really left to do is add borders to the side of the sleeves, just like we did at the bottom, and then add ties to the side of the body. And I ended up changing the color for the borders and the ties just because I wanted to. We're gonna add our ties in the middle of this body part, so that's for me, that's around here. And now I'll just make a chain, which is the length of how long I want the tie to be. I did 25 chains and then plus 1. And now I'll just slip stitch all the way back. So just place a slip stitch in each chain. And then when you've done a slip stitch in each chain, you'll just slip stitch into the same stitch that you started the chain in. And then just finish off the row, cut off the yarn, like that. And now you'll just have to do that on the other side as well, and also over here as well. Now the very last step is to add a border at the end of the sleeves, which we'll just do the same thing as we did at the bottom of the shirt, which is just 2 rows of double crochets. So I'll just make 2 rows of double crochets working in the round. So I'll just start off by chaining 2, and then do a double crochet in the same stitch, and I'll just carry the ends with me so I don't have to sew those in later. Then I'll just place double crochet in the chain space, and then the double crochet in the space, and the double crochet, and then the space, just like we did at the bottom. And I'll do that all the way around, and then I'll make 1 more row, and then that's it. I just did my last double crochet, so now I'll just slip stitch to this one, and then cut off the yarn. And now I'll just add a border as well on the other sleeve. Once you have finished sewing in all of the ends, you have officially finished your off the shoulder crochet top. I hope you love it, and if you have any questions about the pattern, you can just write them in the comments.